Episode 15, From Salad Cart to Empire, A.P. Giannini's 9-to-5 Escape Blueprint. Have you ever looked at your life, at your work, at the daily grind, and thought, is this it? Is there more to financial security than just trading hours for dollars? Can someone like me, without a silver spoon or a fancy degree, truly build a life of financial independence? You see the headlines, hear the success stories, and they often feel out of reach, like they're for a different breed of person. Today, we're not just going to talk about abstract financial principles. We're going to journey back to the early 20th century to discover a remarkable, yet largely forgotten, figure, A.P. Giannini. A man who redefined banking, fueled dreams, and built a financial empire that touched millions, all while defying the rigid conventions of his time. His story isn't just about money. It's about audacious vision, relentless customer focus, and a profound belief in the untapped potential of the ordinary person. Born in 1870 in San Jose, California, Amedeo Peter Giannini's early life was marked by hardship and a fierce work ethic. His father, an Italian immigrant farmer, was murdered when A.P. was just 7 years old, leaving his mother to raise 5 children. At 13, A.P. left school to help support his family, working at a wholesale produce business, where his stepfather was a partner. He spent his teenage years surrounded by the sights and sounds of commerce, learning the intricate dance of supply and demand, the value of a dollar, and the art of negotiation. This wasn't formal education, it was the raw, unvarnished education of the marketplace. He worked tirelessly, saving every cent, internalizing the fundamental lesson that money earned and saved is money that can work for you. He saw firsthand the struggles of his immigrant community, honest, hard-working people who faced systemic barriers. They were often excluded by traditional banks, deemed too small, too risky, or simply not sophisticated enough for the established financial institutions. These banks served the elite, the already wealthy, the corporations. The little guy was an afterthought, if thought of at all. This exclusion planted a seed in young A.P.'s mind. There was an immense, underserved market. The turning point for A.P. Giannini wasn't a sudden epiphany, but a gradual crystallization of this observation into a revolutionary idea. By his early 30s, he had become a successful businessman in the produce industry, building a solid financial foundation. He understood the rhythm of small businesses, the daily cash flow challenges, and the desperate need for access to capital. He was already financially stable, but he felt a pull towards something more, something that addressed the gaping void he saw in his community. In 1904, at the age of 34, A.P. Giannini made the decision that would change not only his life but the future of banking. He co-founded the Bank of Italy in a converted saloon in San Francisco. This wasn't just another bank, it was a radical departure from the norm. While traditional banks catered to the wealthy from behind imposing marble counters, Giannini's bank was different from day one. He set up shop where his customers lived and worked, in the heart of the immigrant community. He focused on lending small sums of money, to farmers, to shopkeepers, to new immigrants looking to buy a home or start a humble business. His strategy was revolutionary in its simplicity: serve the forgotten. He understood that while individual loans might be small, the collective demand of the common person was enormous. He knew that trust, built through personal relationships and genuine understanding, would be his most valuable currency. He hired tellers who spoke multiple languages. He stayed open during hours convenient for working people, unlike the rigid 9 to 3 of other banks. He even famously allowed customers to deposit money right in his hand on the street after closing hours. This was customer centricity before the term existed. This initial success, born from serving an underserved market, highlights a crucial Wealthwise principle for us today: identify a pain point, then provide a solution. Many people in 9 to 5 jobs dream of a side hustle or building their own business. A.P. Giannini's lesson is to look around you, especially at the frustrations or unmet needs within your own community or professional network. That's often where the most impactful and financially rewarding opportunities lie. Then came the ultimate test of his revolutionary model, the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. While other banks, fearing collapse, locked their vaults and shuttered their doors, A.P. Giannini responded with audacious speed and compassion. He knew his customers needed their money, not just to rebuild, but to survive. He reportedly loaded the bank's assets onto a produce wagon, covered them with fruit and vegetables to fool looters, and carted them to his home outside the fire zone. The very next day, amidst the smoldering ruins, he set up a makeshift desk on a pier and began lending money to anyone who needed it to rebuild, asking only for a handshake and a promise to repay. He became the sole source of credit for the devastated city. This act of profound trust and immediate service cemented his reputation. People saw that his bank was truly their bank, a partner in their darkest hour. This demonstrated his core principle: build relationships, foster trust, and deliver when it matters most. For us, it means prioritizing long-term relationships and reputation over short-term gains. After the earthquake, the Bank of Italy grew exponentially. Giannini realized that while he was serving San Francisco, there were similar forgotten communities across California, across the nation, and indeed, across the world. He pioneered branch banking, acquiring smaller banks and opening new branches, extending his reach beyond a single city. This was unheard of at the time. Banks were typically standalone entities. His vision was to create a bank for the people, accessible everywhere. He expanded into agricultural loans, financing everything from grape vineyards to citrus groves. He helped finance the emerging Hollywood film industry, lending money to visionaries like Walt Disney when others wouldn't. He understood that these nascent industries, while risky, held immense potential for growth, and by backing them, he was also backing the growth of the broader economy. This speaks to the Wealthwise principle of intelligent diversification and backing high-growth potential, even if it's unconventional. For a 9-to-5 employee, this might translate into diversifying your investment portfolio beyond traditional stocks, exploring emerging markets, or even investing in your own skills to pivot into a high-growth sector. A.P. Giannini was also a master of innovative financing and public relations, long before those terms were popularized. He was one of the first to issue bank bonds directly to the public, allowing ordinary people to become investors in their own bank's growth. He understood the power of widespread ownership. During the Great Depression, when countless banks failed, the Bank of Italy, which later became Bank of America, not only survived but thrived, largely due to Giannini's sound management, diversified portfolio, and the unwavering loyalty of his millions of customers. He even personally guaranteed the bank's solvency during a bank run, inspiring confidence. His mindset was a blend of several powerful, enduring principles that are just as relevant today for anyone seeking financial independence. Customer centricity is a growth engine. He built his entire business around the needs of the common person, a segment largely ignored by his competitors. He didn't just offer services, he removed barriers, built relationships, and fostered trust. This teaches us that solving genuine problems for an underserved market is a powerful path to wealth. Visionary scalability. He didn't just build one successful branch, he envisioned a nationwide network. He saw beyond the immediate success and planned for massive expansion, bringing financial services to millions who had been denied them. For your Wealthwise journey, this means thinking beyond your current income or side hustle. How can you scale your skills, your services, or your investments to reach more people or generate more passive income? Frugality and reinvestment for capital growth. Despite his immense success, Giannini lived modestly. He never owned a yacht or a grand mansion. He constantly plowed profits back into the bank's growth, understanding that reinvestment fueled exponential expansion. This is the bedrock of compound interest in action, whether for a business or a personal investment portfolio. Resilience and audacious action in crisis. The 1906 earthquake and the Great Depression were moments where most would crumble. Giannini acted decisively, compassionately, and unconventionally, turning crises into opportunities to strengthen his bond with customers and expand his reach. This highlights the importance of maintaining a strong emergency fund and a calm, strategic mindset when unexpected challenges arise. Your financial buffer allows you to seize opportunities when others are panicking. Long-term focus over short-term profits. He made decisions that prioritized the long-term health of his institution and the well-being of his customers, even if it meant sacrificing immediate profits. This built enduring loyalty and a fundamentally stronger enterprise. For anyone aiming for early retirement or long-term financial independence, this means resisting quick-rich schemes and focusing on consistent, sustainable growth. Ethical leadership and trust. Giannini understood that trust was the ultimate currency in banking. His integrity, especially during crises, fostered unparalleled loyalty. This reminds us that ethical conduct and a strong reputation are invaluable assets in any wealth-building endeavor. A.P. Giannini's legacy is monumental. The Bank of Italy eventually became Bank of America, one of the largest financial institutions in the world, largely due to his vision and unconventional approach. He democratized banking, making it accessible to the masses, fostering homeownership, and fueling countless small businesses and entire industries. He died in 1949, not as the richest man in the world, but as a man who fundamentally changed how money worked for everyday people. He famously said he wanted to prove that a man could administer a bank for the benefit of the many and not the few. And he did. So, what can this remarkable life teach us, the modern seekers of financial independence, many of us working our 9-to-5s, dreaming of a different future? Firstly, your background does not define your potential. A.P. Giannini started with nothing, faced immense personal hardship and societal barriers. Your current circumstances are merely your starting line, not your finish line. Secondly, true wealth is often built by serving others and solving real problems. Look beyond just earning a paycheck. How can you add value? What needs are going unmet in your community, your industry, or even your online niche? Thirdly, frugality, consistent saving, and strategic reinvestment are timeless principles. They worked for a produce peddler in 1904, and they work for a salaried employee in 2025. This is your personal compounding engine. Fourth, cultivate trust and a strong reputation. In a world full of noise and fleeting trends, integrity and genuine service stand out and build enduring value. And finally, don't be afraid to think differently. A.P. Giannini was ridiculed for wanting to bank the little guy. He ignored the naysayers and pursued his vision with relentless passion. Your roadmap to financial freedom might not look like everyone else's, and that's perfectly okay. If A.P. Giannini's incredible journey has ignited a spark within you, if you're ready to look beyond the ordinary and truly design your path to financial independence and early retirement, then you belong right here on the Wealthwise Journey. Subscribe now, hit that notification bell, and join our growing community dedicated to building smarter wealth, achieving financial freedom, and redefining what's possible, even if you're working that 9-to-5. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it, someone who's looking for that push. And in the comments below, tell me, what's one unconventional idea or overlooked opportunity you'll explore after hearing A.P. Giannini's story? Because your Wealthwise journey isn't just about money. It's about vision, resilience, and building a life of profound purpose. Initiate your wealth-building journey by taking deliberate steps toward lasting financial independence.